In the sequence of stories of superhit films shown on Khabar Tak, the new link of a story that I have brought before you today is the story of film Aaye Din Bahar Ke. This film was brought on the silver screen in 1966 and was directed by Raghunath Jalani. The lead role in this film were played by the legend actor Dharmendra and Asa Parekh, whereas Balraj Sahni played character role in this film. This film included many beautiful dance scenes and melodious song as well. The music director of this film were Lakshmikant Pyarelal, and the voiceover of the song in this film were given by the famous singer Lata Mangeshkar, Asa Bhosle, Muhammad Rafi, and Mahendra Kapoor. The first few lines of such a melodious song I am trying to hum for your amusement. फूलों से मुखड़ों वाली निकली है एक मतवाली, गुलशन की करने सैर खुदाया खे, गुलशन की करने सैर खुदाया खे। मेरा महबूब है बेमिसाल, मेरा महबूब है बेमिसाल, वे कमाल वे कमाल वे कमाल वे कमाल वे कमाल वे कमाल। ये कली जब तलक फूल बन के खिले, ये कली जब तलक फूल बन के खिले, इंतजार 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 करूं, इंतजार करूं। इंतजार वो भला क्या करे तुम जिसे बेकरार 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 करूं, बेकरार करूं। सुनो सजना पपीहे ने, सुनो सजना पपीहे ने कहा सबसे पुकार के, संभल जाओ चमन वालों, संभल जाओ चमन वालों की आए दिन बहार के। सुनो सजना सुनो सजना, खत लिख दे सांवरिया के नाम बाबू, खत लिख दे सांवरिया के नाम बाबू, कोरे कागज पे लिख दे सलाम बाबू। वो जान जाएंगे पहचान जाएंगे, कैसे होती है सुबह से शाम बाबू, कैसे होती है सुबह से शाम बाबू। वो जान जाएंगे पहचान जाएंगे। मेरे दुश्मन तू मेरी दोस्ती को तरसे, मेरे दुश्मन तू मेरी दोस्ती को तरसे, मुझे गम देने वाले तू खुशी को तरसे, मेरे दुश्मन। Now listen to the entire story of film Aaye Din Bahar Ke. The film Aaye Din Bahar Ke begins with Ravi, played by Dharmendra, fishing with his friend Anmol, played by Rajendra Nath. When Ravi catches a fish on his fishing tackle and pulls it out, the fish and the string from the fishing tackle catches on Kanchan, played by Asa Parekh. This angers Kanchan, who scolds them both They try to appease with her laughter and jokes, but this only infuriates her. Kanchan then threatens them both and goes home. Ravi and Anmol then leave. Ravi returns home and begins to talk lovingly to his mother. When her mother tells him to study, become a qualified man, and go to the city to work, Ravi retorts that he hasn't seen his father. He raised him with great effort and wants to stay and serve his mother. Then his mother says, my only service is to get you married and have your children play with me. Just then, a neighbor arrives with a letter and asks Ravi to write down his uncle's address and send him to a letter asking him to come soon. Ravi jokes, I will write to him, uncle, that you are staying here now because auntie does not want to leave alone without you. She blushes and tells her friend Ravi still acts mischievously like he did when he was a child. Look how handsome he looks now that he has grown up. After her friend leaves, Ravi's mother applies a dot of kajal to his cheek to ward off evil eyes. One day, Ravi is standing with his friend in college when a professor passes by and calls him. You told me about tuition. I have arranged your tuition. The professor then gives them an address and tells him to go there to teach Kanchan, the daughter of Janki Das, a prominent man in the city, played by Raj Mehra. After receiving the address from the professor, Ravi goes to the address and meets Kanchan. Upon seeing him, Kanchan accuses him of being loafer and tells him not to study. Ravi replies that she must have seen his twin brother. Kanchan's anger subsides and she introduces Ravi to her father. Ravi then gets a job of teaching Kanchan there for 100 rupees a month. When Ravi asks Kanchan when he will start teaching, she tells him to come the third day as she is going to see a farm her father brought the next day. The next day, while Kanchan is traveling alone to see her father's garden, Ravi, disguised as his twin brother Prakash, teases her on the way. Then, when he encounters a traffic jam, he returns his motorcycle and hides in the gardens with his friend Anmol. When Kanchan arrives at the garden, Anmol and Ravi teases her and getting her, meanwhile taking Ravi's cue. Anmol takes Kanchan's jeep to another location and fixes a minor problem in it. When Kanchan tries to start her jeep to return home before dusk, it won't start. When Ravi offers to help her, she angrily refuses. Ravi leaves, saying he will go, but how will she deal with the dangerous creatures and cruel tribals that live in the forest? With that, Ravi leaves and alone with his friend Anmol being starting various terrifying animal noises, frightening Kanchan and causing her to try to escape. Just then, a group of tribals led by Anmol, disguised as a savage, arrives and behaves strangely, asks Kanchan some questions. Kanchan is unable to understand the questions. Ravi then arrives and tells her that tribals are very dangerous, but they don't harm married people. I am asking if you are married. He says, I told them I am married to him. Ravi's friend Anmol, posing as the tribal leader, questions Kanchan again and she nods her head in the affirmative. The group then leaves and Kanchan returns to the city with Ravi. The next day, Kanchan sees Ravi's friend Anmol, whose leg is plastered, talking to his girlfriend. He is telling his girlfriend that yesterday, on the advice of his friend Ravi, he had gone to a garden disguised as a tribal leader and was scaring that girl Ravi loved so that Ravi could save her and make a place for her himself in her heart. And in this process, he got injured. Hearing this from Anmol, Kanchan first gets angry at Anmol and then leaves from there and comes to Ravi's house. When Kanchan arrives at Ravi's house, Ravi is repairing his motorcycle. Seeing Kanchan, Ravi greets her. Kanchan, enraged, tells her that garden incident has been exposed. Ravi then asserts his twin brother Prakash's actions, insisting his bringing here. Entering the house and changing his clothes, he makes a series of remarks that suggest he is furious with Prakash and is trying to get him to come to Kanchan to apologize. Meanwhile, he makes a self-imposed sound suggesting Prakash is jumping and running away. After this, he approaches Kanchan and says he is sorry he could not bring Prakash to her to apologize. Kanchan then says she heard him scold Prakash. She then apologizes for the misunderstanding and goes with Ravi to his home room. Looking at the picture, she tells Ravi that Prakash is exactly like that. She then returns home. Upon returning, she realizes she forget her purse at Ravi's house. So she returns to Ravi's house to retrieve it. Before she can get her purse, Ravi leaves, telling his mother that he needs to get some repair parts for his motorcycle. Going to Ravi's house, Kanchan retrieves her purse, telling Ravi's mother that she had forgotten it when she arrived here a short while ago. She then sees two photographs of Ravi, telling Ravi's mother how kind Ravi is and how much of a scoundrel is twin brother Prakash. Ravi's mother tells her that she has only one son, not two, and that both photographs are of Ravi. After Ravi's secret is revealed, Kanchan returns home the next day. When Ravi comes to teach her, she still does not tell him about his secret being exposed. Instead of studying, she takes Ravi to a scenic spot. There, she demonstrates her love for Ravi by showing him a ring, describing it as dearer than her life. Then, while passing a lake, she throws the ring into the lake as if it had accidentally fallen into it. Intent on winning Kanchan's love, Ravi is determined to go into the lake and retrieve the ring. Seeing this, Kanchan tells him to take off his cloth and enters the water. Ravi takes off his clothes, places them on the shore, jumps into the lake, takes a deep dive, retrieves the ring, and returns it to Kanchan. When he cannot find his clothes lying on the lake of shore, he questions Kanchan about his clothes. Upon this, Kanchan exposes all his misdeeds in the garden, takes his clothes, and leaves for her home. Ravi returns home naked in the dark of night. The next day, Ravi's friend Anmol gives Kanchan a love letter from Ravi in which he exposes regret for the garden incident. Kanchan then tear up the letter, taking from Anmol a reply. She tears the letters and give it to the Anmol to return it to Ravi. Ravi then, who she was staying at his home, meets Anmol when returning, and he told that, look, this is the letter that Kanchan has sent for him. After meeting Kanchan, Anmol comes to Ravi and gives him the pieces of his own love letter as a reply letter and says, take this. This is your reply letter. Then Kanchan also comes there and apologizes to Ravi for the fact that because of her, he had to stay in the cold water of the lake till late night, due to which he has fallen ill. After this, both of them expresses their love for each other. Ravi tops the college in his MSc exams and the newspaper headlines him. Kanchan takes this page of the newspaper to her father to inform him of Ravi's success. Ravi also informs his mother of his success, explaining that he will soon have a high-paying job and will serve her. He then leaves his home to tell his friend about it and leaves for Kanchan's house. Meanwhile, Kanchan also begins to visit Ravi to congratulate him on his success. They meet in the middle of the way, and when asked where they are going, both of them declare that they are going nowhere. They celebrate, dancing and singing while gazing lovingly at each other. During this, Kanchan tells Ravi that his studies are now complete. Ravi then says that the biggest challenge before him is to become a scientist so that he can serve his mother while also serving the country. Kanchan then asks how long they can continue to secretly love each other if they are not married soon. Her mother might marry her off somewhere else, then her father will have to agree. Upon Kanchan's words, Ravi comes to Kanchan's house to talk to her father, but he cannot bring himself to talk to him about his marriage to Kanchan. He leaves after making casual remarks. Kanchan then tries to discuss with her father, but she too is unable to do so. She leaves after making casual remarks also. Kanchan's father Janakinath senses their feelings and brings this proposal to Ravi's mother with the intention of arranging their engagement. At first, Ravi's mother is reluctant to agree to the marriage, citing Kanchan's wealthy background and her own poor background. However, after Janki Das persuades her, she agrees to engagement. After Diwan Janki Das leaves, she returns to her prayer room and takes out a photograph of herself and her husband hidden in a Ramayana, saying that 25 years have passed since they were separated. She misses him deeply. Hearing Diwan Janki Das and his mother's conversation, Ravi returns to meet Kanchan and informs her of their engagement, and the two dances and singing with joy. Diwan Janki Das was organized a grand ceremony for the engagement of his daughter Kanchan and Ravi. Prominent villagers from the city have been invited, while everyone present in celebrating. Diwan Janki Das' sister arrives. At first, she showers both Kanchan and Ravi with her bountiful blessing. But upon seeing Ravi's mother, she reveals her name as Yamuna and her address as Ambala and begins to rebuke her for having a child out of wedlock. She then reveals that this to everyone present and asks Janki Das not to consummate the engagement. Ravi strongly objects to Janki Das' sister for such accusations against her mother with then is widespread accusation at the event. She said Janki Das then tells Ravi to leave immediately. Ravi returns home from the engagement ceremony, gazing intently to Kanchan. Coming home, Ravi confirms his mother and ensures it to be the lie about having given his birth out of wedlock, but she tells him it to be the truth. She also wants to share some other details with Ravi, but then Ravi becomes furious and misunderstanding her, leaves the house. As soon as Ravi's mother regains consciousness, she also runs out of the house, intent to committing suicide. Her neighbor friend calls out Jamuna, Jamuna and begs her to stop, but she quickly runs away and disappears. After returning away from home, Ravi ends up in another city and in a rage goes to a bar and drinks heavily. There, a man takes him with him, telling him that he is new to the town and drinking for the first time. He takes Ravi to a brothel where he asks a prostitute to dance. As the dancer dances reaches its climax, her baby begins to cry. While dancing, when she tries to calm her baby with feeding him, then the man accompanying Ravi forces her to continue dancing without caring for the baby, causing the baby to cry even louder. The dancer looks at him pitifully when he says, "Let the child die. Who knows whose child he is?" He interrupts my joy. Hearing about the child's whereabouts, Ravi brutally beats the man. Then the man calls the police and have Ravi arrested. He is presented in the court. Ramchandra Shukla, played by Balraj Sahni, hears the case. During the hearing, the prosecution lawyer accuses Ravi of concealing his father's name. When Judge Shukla asks him to reveal his father's name, he initially refuses. However, upon insistence, he reveals his father's name as Ramchandra Shukla, shocking Judge Shukla. He then asks for his mother's name, to which Ravi replies that his mother's name is Yamuna. When asked where she was from, Ravi mentions Ambala. This stunned Judge Shukla, as all these are alluding to him, suggesting that Ravi is his son. Consequently, without directly acknowledging this, he conceals the court proceedings for that day. At the next hearing, when he tries to inquire about Ravi's mother, Ravi says that if he had stayed there a little longer, it was quite possible that after learning the truth about his mother, whom he had worshipped like a goddess, he would have killed his slanderous and selfish mother. Judge Shukla tells Ravi that if he had listened to her fully, it was equally possible that he would have apologized to her for this sin which he committed in anger without knowing the truth. He then imposes a fine on Ravi and dismisses her the court. Judge Shukla, after imposing the fine on Ravi, returns home with a heavy heart. Seeing Judge Shukla's distraught state, his servant says, "You never treated me as your servant, but today my hiding some things from me. You are showing me my place." Judge Shukla then reveals everything to him about Ravi. Judge Shukla's servant asks him, "Why don't you tell Ravi everything?" Shukla then says that if he told everything, he will kill him. But then the time comes, everything will be revealed to him gradually. The next day in jail, Ravi is informed that a gentleman had paid his fine and he can leave the prison free to go anywhere with where he wishes. Ravi asks the jailer officer who had paid his fine. That Shukla appears and says, "I paid your fine myself." Hearing this, Ravi asks Judge Shukla what the secret is that he imposed the fine himself and paid it himself. Judge Shukla replied, "Imposing the fine was my official duty and paying it was my normal duty." Hearing this, Ravi is deeply moved by Judge Shukla's words. Judge Shukla then takes Ravi to his home to inquire about his mother. He learns that his mother committed suicide shortly after he left in anger. Shukla returns, but Ravi remains there. Here, Ravi's mother friend tells him that his mother was a woman of great character. In fact, it was your father who had brought her to this situation. Hearing this, Ravi gets angry at his father, and with the resolve to take revenge from him, he sets out the unknown road carrying the religious book of his mother's choice and the necessary clothes in a book. Judge Shukla continues to keep an eye on Ravi even after returning from the scene. When he receives news that Ravi has once again become angry and is out searching for his father, he stops Ravi on the way and asks him to come with him. Ravi refuses to go with him, saying that he will first meet his father and take revenge of his mother's humiliation. The Shukla offers to help him in this endeavor as well. In the course of conversation, he tells Ravi that he feels him like his own son. As Ravi is leaving his house, he notices a decoration in Kanchan's house and questions the servant about them. The servant tells him that Kanchan is getting married today. He then asks the servant to go to Kanchan and congratulates her on her wedding on his behalf. Following Ravi's instructions, the servant delivers Ravi's message to Kanchan. Upon receiving this message, Kanchan sets off in search of Ravi, still in the clothes she was wearing. While searching for Ravi, she is hit by a car. A nurse picks up Kanchan, who was fallen unconscious after being hit by the car, and brings her home. After listening to the story, she tells her to stay at home. Kanchan, unwilling to be a burden on her, asks owners to give her some work. The nurse offers to get her a job with her at a hospital. In this connection, she goes to clothing some store to buy a beautiful dress. Judge Shukla, in an attempt to distract Ravi from taking revenge of his father, offers him a job as an investigator and takes him to the clothing store to buy a beautiful dress for him. When Kanchan has come, the nurse Ravi see Kanchan leaving but don't say anything. While staying at Judge Shukla's house, Ravi repeatedly contemplates leaving to seek revenge on his father. However, the next moment, Judge Shukla's insightful thought stops him from leaving. One day, determined to leave, he writes a note in search of his father, preparing to leave. Judge Shukla is away at court. Meanwhile, a photograph of his mother with her husband falls from a religious book she frequently reads. When Ravi sees the photograph, he realizes that Judge Shukla is his father. He also deduces from several other things. Judge Shukla says that he is his father. Upon learning this, Ravi's anger reaches its peak and he sets out to avenge his father. Judge Shukla from the court is attending a ceremony as a chief guest and to inaugurate a women's shelter. Members of the women's shelters are praising Judge Shukla's excellent work for the upliftment of women. Ravi arrives and begins abusing him, calling him a pervert and ruining the lives of women by playing with them. Hearing this, the event organizers forcefully stop him from doing so. Judge Shukla then gives Ravi more time to speak, telling the organizers to let him vent his anger. Following Ravi's accusations, many in the audience begins pressuring Judge Shukla to defend his accusation as despite his outward appearance of virtuous character, Ravi's accusations reveal him to be just a vicious and criminal. When the noise increases considerably, then Judge Shukla tells Ravi that the stigma you have tried to put on me is completely baseless. Although I am not bound to give the proof of my character that you are asking from me, still you yourself should see this scene and give me the certificate of my character. Saying this, he unveils the statue for which he has been made the chief guest. As soon as the statue is unveiled, when Ravi sees the statue of his mother in the form of that statue, he becomes emotional. On this, Judge Shukla tells the whole story to him and everyone present in the gathering that he is not at fault in this matter. His only mistake was that, fearing his father and other relatives, he married Yamuna in a temple without informing anyone. Circumstances prevented his family from finding out. After the marriage, he went to England to study, where he stayed for 2 or 3 years. Meanwhile, when Jamna learned of her pregnancy, she attempted to write to me several times but failed to do so because she did not have my address at England. Then, to avoid people's baseless accusations, she moved to a city to give birth to you and raise you. A symbol of our love for her. If she had been a bad character, she would have married anyone and lived comfortably without caring about raising you. When I returned to India, I searched everywhere for her, but when she was nowhere to be found, I believed people's rumors that she might have committed suicide to avoid public condemnation. After this, I, believing in her purity, continued to work for women in her honor. Today, I am present here to inaugurate this Nari Niketan in her name. Hearing all this from Judge Shukla and seeing his mother's statue in front of him, Ravi's grievousness about them both dissipate, and he meets his father Sri Ramchandra Shukla and confesses his mistake. A few days later, the moment comes when Ravi's mother also meets him. After Ravi leaves the house in anger, his mother Jamna leaves with the intention to commit suicide, but on the way she faints and collapses in front of a house. Upon regaining consciousness, the owner of the house brings her home, thinking that at least she will do the household chores, which will give his wife to some rest. Yamuna works hard in his house, but the lady of the house is still unhappy with her. On Diwali, Jamna suddenly feels dizzy and falls unconscious while washing the utensils. When the lady of the house returns after the puja and finds Jamna lying unconscious, having not even finished washing the utensils, she pours water on her. Upon regaining consciousness, she curses her and drives her out of the house on Diwali night. Yamuna, distraught, lies there on the roadside, seeing her in his state. A passerby takes pity on her and takes her to the nearby Nari Niketan. When Jamuna sees her own image, she questions the local Nari Niketan's director about its director. She explains that hearing the name of Judge Ram Chandra Shukla, the head of the Nari Niketan, reminds her of her husband and asks the total local director where he lives. The local director tells her that he lives in a judge's quarters a short distance away. Hearing this from the local administrator, when Jamuna arrives at the judge's quarters, Ravi sees her and rushes to her, hugging her, calling out to his father, "Father, today mother has also joined us." After this, the three begins living there lovingly. Meanwhile, one day Jamuna feels dizzy again and faints. Judge Shukla asks Ravi to call a doctor. The doctor immediately arrives and begins treating Yamuna. Before leaving, he says that her treatment will be lengthy and she needs a nurse. Jasukla then instructs the doctor to arrange for a nurse. Recovering consciousness, Jamuna again talks about bringing a daughter-in-law in her home. Judge Shukla reveals his intention to bring Dolly, the daughter of Judge Mahendra, into the family as his daughter-in-law. He also mentions that Judge Mahendra's daughter Dolly will coming to the house today to see Ravi and introduces herself to him. Ravi, hearing all this, leaves the room. While Ravi is planning to avoid the hassles of marriage, Nurse Rachna, who was sheltered Kanchan, arrives to care for Ravi's mother. Ravi tells her that his mother will talk to her about marriage, but she should say no. Rachna then leaves to care for Ravi's mother, and Ravi remains downstairs. Shortly after, Rachna goes to her room upstairs to care for Ravi's mother. Jamuna, Judge Mahendru's daughter Dolly, arrives and discusses meeting Ravi and going to the club. Ravi is stunned to learn that Dolly, who is thought was a nurse, just arrived. When he receives a phone call asking for his shoe sizes to be resized, he dismisses it as a call from Dolly's home, claiming Dolly's father has suddenly fallen ill. While caring for Ravi's mother, Rachna falls in love with Ravi. Then, when she returns home and meets Kanchan, whom she calls Didi, she tells her about her love for Ravi. Initially, Kanchan tells her not to take this path of love, saying it is full of thorns. But when Rachna responds, she says she does not care about these thorns. Instead of being heartless, even the pain of the thorns on the way of love will bring her solace. After this, she asks Kanchan about every method of love and tests it on Ravi. But when Rachna tries all of Kanchan's tricks on Ravi, they fail. For example, Kanchan tells Rachna to ask her boyfriend to give up the things he loves most, and if he gives them up, she believes he loves her too. Under this formula, without even asking him, she first asks Ravi to give up smoking, but Ravi asks her who told her that he smokes. The truth is that he does not smoke at all. She asks Ravi to give up tea, but Ravi replies that he does not even drink tea. After reaching returns home from Ravi's mother's and tells Kanchan everything. She uses her next trick to lover can come to her and confesses her love to her. When she first pretends, the housekeeper appears instead of Ravi. She sends him away and repeats the same act. This time, Ravi himself offers a pickup and take her home, but by the time he puts her in the car, the driver arrives. He then has the driver send her home. Kanchan then deliberately delays her so that she can get closer to him under the guise of driving her home. This time, Rachna succeeds in her objects. Ravi comes to her house to drop her off, but when Rachna asks him to have tea at her house with the intention of staying with him for a longer time and showing him off, Ravi leaves the places, making an excuse of work. Thus, all the tricks Rachna tried to win Ravi's love failed. Meanwhile, Ravi's mother and father emotionally pressured Ravi into agreeing to the marriage. Then they called Rachna and told her that she would be the daughter in law of this house. Rachna could not believe it, and when she returned home, she could not decide whether it was reality or a dream. Then Kanchan pinched her cheek and told her that it was all real. She then offered to introduce her to her future husband. Rachna replied that he will come with her to the New Year's party. Kanchan comes to the party with the intention of seeing Rachna's husband. When she sees Ravi arriving with Rachna, her future husband, she is deeply shocked and finds herself at a crossroads. She then reflects on the fact that she considered Rachna her younger sister. In such a situation, she will not become an obstacle in the way of his happiness. Even if Ravi considers her unfaithful, when she comes to meet Ravi, who is coming with Rachna, she picks up a woman's child in her lap so that Ravi, thinking she is married, becomes jealous and lives happily with Rachna. Here, Rachna asks Ravi to sing a song. Ravi singing a song based on Kanchan's infidelity, which leads Kanchan emotional writing. The search I was looking for has ended today. I am leaving now, and no one should try to find me. As the song ends, Rachna returns to her room, searching for Kanchan, shouting Didi Didi. She stumbles upon a note Kanchan had written, which she understands and calls out to Ravi, informing him the details. Ravi then sets out to find her. His car stalls near a railway crossing, and he sees Kanchan running on the tracks, intent to committing suicide. He gets out of the car and rushes to her rescue. A train approaches, seemingly about to run over her. Kanchan too appears ready to take her own life. However, Ravi arrives at the scene and saves Kanchan just before the train crushes her. Judge Ramchandra Shukla then arranges a grand wedding for Kanchan and Ravi. Kanchan's father Diwan Janki Das and all the prominent people of the city came there. With this scene of Kanchan and Ravi's marriage, the story of the film Aaye Din Bahar Ke ends.